You're listening to 91.3 WLVR Bethlehem. This is your host, Chris Dallao, proudly bringing you the Moshpit mix, your best mix of hard rock, hardcore, and heavy metal. And it is my pleasure this evening to welcome to the show Ryan Loftus. Hey, what's up, man?
What's up?
What is up, Mr. Loftus? So, for those of you that haven't heard of him, and that's just about everybody on the planet at this point, Mr. Loftus here has put out an album this past year.
I'm big in Poland.
You're big in Poland? That's right. How many shows you got in Poland? That's right, folks. He's got one sale in Poland. International right here. I actually have his album. So, Ryan, tell us a little bit about your album, man, a little bit about yourself, what you do, just a little overview on your album, the title, when it came out, all that stuff.
So, started writing it about last year. Recorded all last summer. It came out this school year in November.
All right.
And I feel like the label I like to use is progressive groove thrash.
Progressive groove thrash. Okay.
That works for me.
All right. And how? So is that how you describe your sound? Your own subgenre. So your subgenre for this album is a mix of different subgenres.
There isn't a genre. It's just if you're like put a gun to my head, I have to tell you the genre.
All right.
Yes, that's it.
All right, cool, man. So how long did this album take to record? What went into it? You know, what was your process with this?
Writing, well, it's hard to say because, like, Divinity, the guitar tracks, those are the demo tracks.
All right.
But recording, drums started end of May, everything else June, mixing and mastering July, August.
Okay. So as far as, like, so another thing I want to ask about too is just your writing process. As far as how this all came together, I mean, we were just talking right now. You were saying like on Mortality, that first track there, and again, folks, this is Reclaiming Humanity by Ryan Loftus, of course. So you were telling me right there, you came up with that end riff in Spanish class. So like, I mean, you got to pull some inspiration from everywhere. I mean, as a writer myself, I definitely too. Like I'm sitting in class and I'm like, wow, this is a great idea. So like for you. Is it the music that comes first? Is it lyrics that comes first? Do you have a concept that you run with? Like, how do you approach it?
It's always music.
Okay.
Always. I might come up with a phrase, write it down, and then put that in later.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
All right, cool, man. So, again, we're just starting here, folks. Again, that first track that you just heard there was Mortality. We got plenty more for you. And again, right here on the show, Mr. Ryan Loftus. So, Ryan, just a couple of like rapid fire questions at you, man. Just in general, this is the metal show. This is the Mosh Mix. It's all the heavy music out there. You don't have to. And again, too, man, when we're talking about bands and stuff, you don't have to just keep it in, heavy stuff. Like I know you listen to a whole variety of different kinds of music. So like, just again, man, just general questions. It's we're hanging out with microphones. That's it. We're just we're chilling with microphones. So. One question I have for you is, so like, who's your favorite band? Like, who's your biggest influence? What made you want to become a musician?
Okay, that's two different answers.
Okay, well, those were two different questions. I'm sorry.
Okay, Guns N' Roses, I remember, I started playing drums.
Right.
At some point after I got into Guns N' Roses, and I remember watching the music video for Don't Cry, and seeing Slash playing that solo on a roof of a building. I was like, I'm gonna do that.
All right, man, cool.
And then favorite band, it's gotta be a tie between Death and Trivium influence. And I'm listening to more Trivium now, but same influence level, I think.
All right, cool, man. So, between Death and Trivium, you had some pretty complex stuff. Like so as far as you, more into just like the straightforward riff, more into the big epic. Like, what defines you? Like, even on the track Mortality, definitely an epic, but, again, people haven't heard the rest of this album. Like, what defines you? What do you look for in a song?
I think we talked about this before. My riffs are really simple. They're never that complicated. Okay, I have some newer ones that are a little complicated, but, like, they're never that complicated. It's just the structures are absurdly long. And I don't really cut away a lot. I tend to get out of control on the bridge.
All right.
You can expect a lot of that tonight.
All right, cool, man. So again, folks, this is Mr. Ryan Loftus. We are playing tracks. This show is all about Mr. Loftus, all about reclaiming humanity. his album, which just came out this last fall. He's one of Lehigh's many musicians, but the only guy I know who's put out an album. I mean, that's pretty legit, man, especially for 18 or 19 years old now.
See, I was 17 when I created it.
Okay.
And then I wanted to release it before my 18th birthday, just to, I don't know, I thought it'd be cooler.
Yeah.
Releasing as a minor. That didn't work out. Too hard.
All right.
So I was 18 at the time.
All right, man. So yeah, 18 years old, has his own album out. You can find it on Spotify. You can find all the lyric videos on YouTube. You can, and again, too, with his current band, April Uprising, prominent band here on Lehigh's campus, you can go and see it live. And again, we'll be talking about those shows a little bit later on. So we're going to play you another track. Actually, before I do, just like to say, folks, remember, please do not drink and drive. Let's keep those roads safe out there. Make a little PSA here. Let's keep the roads safe for everyone, folks. I almost got hit by a car today. It was kind of crazy. If we could just avoid that in the future, I'd really appreciate it, especially after that poor kid got hit in front of Drown here on campus just a couple weeks ago, man. It's awful, guys. Just be careful out there. Be careful. All right, stay safe. As my friends in Jews and Gentiles say, stay safe out there, folks. Stay safe out there. All right, so we're playing you another track off of Ryan's album, Reclaiming Humanity. This is track 2. This next one is Open Your Eyes. You're listening to 91.3 WLVR. You're listening to 91.3 WLVR Bethlehem. Welcome back to the Moshpit Mix, and welcome back to my guest this evening, Ryan. Say hi, Ryan.
How's it going?
This is Ryan Loftus, everybody. And with that last track, you heard that was track 2 off of Ryan's album, Reclaiming Humanity. You can find it on Spotify, find it on YouTube, find it all over the place. That was Open Your Eyes. So, Ryan, tell me, man, so what is that song about? Like what was inspiring you at the time? What's the whole idea with that? You had some really interesting lyrics, some cool vocal harmonies, man. Like, where were you coming from?
So that spring I was writing the album, there was this, I was taking the train home a lot out of Philadelphia to get home from school. And there was this epidemic of the knockout game. Have you ever heard of that?
No, what's that about?
Random people in North Philadelphia would run up to people with cell phones and just punch them in the face.
Oh, man. Oh, wait.
See
Yeah, I have heard of that.
Cold.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
And then you win. And you're a bigger target if you had your cell phone. So I'm in SEPTA, sitting in SEPTA. I couldn't have my phone out. So that whole winter, I had to write lyrics. That's where all these lyrics came from. Okay. And it'd always be the same bench. But one day I didn't get that bench. I had to move further down. And for some reason I just was really pissed off about racism. And that's where this song came. Just really pissed off about racism. You see, folks, this is an album not only with some great brutal tracks, but with a social consciousness. High five, man. High five for that. I mean, Cameron, yeah, okay. You don't know. For all you know, we just did a flying high five, did a backflip, man. Oh, yeah, that was crazy. Okay, so well, that's where you're coming from. That's what a lot of albums are about. It's kind of like a bigger, where we as a human race can go. Right. Well, yeah, I mean, reclaiming humanity. You got to do it. Absolutely. Very cool. All right. So one question I have for you is, I'm a gearhead. What was your gear on this album? What were you using to record in terms of, your guitars, your drum kit? Like, what kind of gear were you using? You recorded everything on this album, correct? Correct. Yeah, so it's you on vocals, drums, bass, and guitar. That is all you. All the production is you. Every bit of this is all Ryan Loftus, correct? Correct. Yeah, dude, that's insane. Yeah, how was that as an undertaking? Like, I mean, really, I understand it's about the gear, but the gear that you're using, that whole undertaking, like, how was this being all you? How was that for you? I didn't intend to do that. Okay. I intended to have a bunch of different drummers on this, and someone else sing, and it just got so out of, like, logistics, and I was like, I'll just do it all myself. All right. And, very big undertaking. Gear-wise, drum set, I don't even know. I recorded the drums in my school recording studio, and so I have no idea about that. I use my cymbals. Okay. And I recorded everything else in my basement with this little snowball podcast mic. 6 out of 7 songs were using a PV Tragic Schecter on the 7-string, 2 souls. The bass. I got it from my friend, who ironically, he's actually in a pretty big Philly indie rock band.
Right.
Setbacks. He's the same last name as me, by the way. And
Go Loftuses.
he just lent me this bass, and it was like, I don't even know if that it was a brand. And like it would like crackle and just, but I guess it worked.
All right, man. So it was just a bass. It was just like the bass.
It's like, hey, can I get a bass? Sure.
There you go.
Although to the souls, I didn't have a 7-string bass, so 5-string bass.
Bass, yeah.
So I took my 7-string guitar and then brought it down an octave with the whammy pedal.
Oh, nice, man. Yeah, actually, that's how they recorded bass on the first Animals as Leaders album, now that I think about it. Speaking of something like that. Yeah,
That makes sense.
Yeah, it was like Misha from Periphery, he took an 8-string and he dropped it in octave with the whammy pedal. It sounded like garbage, but like that's the only way they were ever going to get a bass tone. So, yeah, man, so there you go. Following the step, Misha Mansour doing something similar to like you did, recording everything himself, playing everything himself, putting all his own tracks out with Bulb, and going on to a major success with Periphery. So there you go. You a fan of Periphery?
I've tried.
You tried?
Hasn't worked.
All right, man. I love the first album. Past that, no offense, Periphery, man. Past that, I just can't do it. First album, fantastic. Second album was like, ugh. It's not but it's like, it's just not to my taste. It's just not to my taste. So again, man, just throwing out these rapid fire questions. So, as far as, speaking of new acts, who do you think is like the next big thing? Who do you think is like the next big act right now? Who's on your radar? Who are you a big fan of in the new generation of metal right now?
Solosis is making moves. They're coming. Especially this new album, Killer. Gujira's been around a while, but they're still climbing.
Yeah, I saw them back on Halloween, man. Absolutely destroyed.
I was trying to go to that up in East Stroudsburg. I don't know what happened. Didn't work out.
Great show, man. I'm telling you, see them live. Folks, period. If you have not seen Gojira live, check them out. You will not be disappointed. Ever. All right, so talking about Solosis, talking about Gojira, man. I'm a huge fan of both of those bands. I've played both of them on the show multiple times. Awesome bands, man. I definitely agree with you, especially with Solosis. Just getting bigger and bigger and bigger for a band that people haven't really heard of. So totally all about it. So Ryan, what's your favorite food?
Oh man, gotta go Mexican food. Anything
food?
Mexican, yeah.
Well, you're a vegetarian, right?
Yeah, I eat a lot of veggie burgers. So it's also become my nickname in the dining hall among the staff.
Really? Excuse me one second. Laura Reed. That is all. Okay, so moving on. Yeah, dude, she's gonna start sleeping. Like, she doesn't sleep, like, ever. Except when we found her today. Yeah, Laura, if you're listening out there, thank you for listening. Please go to bed. Just go to bed. Like, all right, man. So, all about the veggie burgers. Now, there's a lot of... So, a couple of my favorite bands, as far as incredibly brutal bands, are strictly vegetarian and vegan. Like, Between the Buried and Me, with the exception of one guy in the band, all vegetarians and vegans, and they're brutal. And then especially looking at Cattle Decapitation, man, one of the most brutal bands on the planet, and strictly vegan vegetarian, and all their music is about, is all about putting humans in, like, animal slaughter situations, which just makes for some of the most disgusting but heavy music on the planet. Do you feel like vegetarianism is metal? Do you feel like if you're vegetarian or vegan, especially vegans, that you're more brutal?
To become a vegetarian, usually you have to step outside the normal social norms, and I think that in itself is pretty metal.
All right.
I think that's what it's all about.
All right, man. So yes, folks, veggie burgers are metal. If you want to make heavier music, eat more veggie burgers. So, we're going to keep things moving right along here. Big thanks to Ryan again. This is Ryan Loftus, folks. Just put out this album, Reclaiming Humanity. Going to keep playing you some more tracks off of it and interviewing him throughout the program this evening. Good morning. Hope you're having a good morning out there. It's about 12:40 right now in the a.m. Hope you're having a good day out there. It's going to be a nice April 9th. It's a little colder right now, but, I'm hoping for a little month. It's going to be good. Looking for a good weekend. Should be a good time. And we're going to keep having a good show. So, going to keep it moving right along here. Up next for you is another track from Ryan's album, Reclaiming Humanity. This is track 3. This is To Breathe. You're listening to 91.3 WLVR. This is the Moshpit Mix. You're listening to 91.3 WLVR Bethlehem. This is the Moshpit Mix, and I'm your host, Chris Dallao, very proudly here with Mr. Ryan Loftus.
What up, what up?
What up, what up? All right. So, with that last track there off of Mr. Loftus's album, Reclaiming Humanity, that was To Breathe, the track 3 off of the album. So, Ryan, tell me, actually, before we get to that, I got some huge news. Like, holy cow. Like, we just read this right here. This is fresh off the presses, folks, okay? This is probably the most metal thing to happen ever. Some guy in Kansas beheaded another guy with a guitar string. That's right. He beheaded somebody with a guitar string. If that is not the most metal thing in history of the planet, I have no idea what is.
I feel like that happened in, like, Norwegian black metals. That might have happened.
I feel like I feel like one of the guys from Emperor totally did that.
They ate each other's brains.
They ate each other's brains. Dude, black metal's a weird... Black metal's a weird scene. Alright, so, that was a weird scene. Yeah, man, please, folks, just remember, do not go out and chop people's heads off with guitar strings, because...
You get 4 years.
Jesus. Alright, you get 4 years... Right, you got 4 years... How do you get 4 years for that, though?
So many questions.
So many questions. Like, what kind of string was it? What was the gauge? Was it a wound string? Was it an unwound string?
I hope he went cobalt.
I hope he went cobalt for that, too. Bernie Ball cobalt.
Special occasion.
Special occasion, you gotta. I mean, you're gonna get some bad stuff, but you need the best. European cobalt.
But do you go higher gauge for the strength?
Like, I
or
don't know,
lower
man.
gauge
for
the cut?
Yeah, I'm like, am I using like a G string, or am I using like a G string, or am I using like what I use on my 8 string, or am I using one of my bass strings? Like,
I feel like
what
it's
are we
gotta be
talking
a
about?
13G.
It's gotta be a 13G. Yeah, I feel it on 13G. Yeah, all right. Oh, that's light for a G. All right, yeah, I feel that.
Oh no, a set of 13s.
Oh, a set of 13s. Oh, with the wound, or with the G string off of a 13. Yeah, that would totally work, man. Like a 22 gauge. Yeah, for 90% of the world out there who that just went over your heads, learn to play guitar. All right, so moving right along here. So tell me, like, what was the vibe going into that song To Breathe? Like, what were you thinking with that one?
Oh man, that I had some pieces of that song for a while. Did a whole, I'd say from the chorus to the end of the interlude, he just existed like that in a very bad song. And I got rid of all that, and then one day, just playing Xbox, and my mom's like, Ryan, you have to get out of the basement now, or your sister's having her boyfriend over. And so I just picked up the guitar, and then just wrote those first 3 riffs, and then the whole song just clicked.
Cool, man.
That was a song that fought back, though. Anything that could have possibly gone wrong in recording that song, it went wrong even worse.
I feel you. All right, man. So cool. So that last track was To Breathe. We're going to keep it moving right along, but I got some random questions, Ryan. So tell me, man, out of the big 4, out of Metallica, Megadeth, Slayer, and Anthrax, who's your favorite out of the big 4? Who's the biggest of the big 4 to you?
So it's kind of a shootout between Metallica and Megadeth for me.
All right.
I like earlier Metallica more than anything Megadeth.
Mm-hmm.
But Megadeth just has a more solid body of work. I think it's a stalemate.
All right. And you excited? Yeah, go. I'm sorry for that.
Chris Adler coming back.
Yeah.
Coming in.
Yeah. Have you seen the new
anything could
guitarist
happen.
too? Kiko?
I've heard about him. I don't know too much.
I was watching a video of him yesterday, man. He is really, really good. I mean, his playing has, like, I don't know, a less bluesy Steve Vai kind of thing to it, like very virtuosic and very clean, and like a lot of Steve Vai kind of harmonies, but without all like his funkiness. It's just very tight and very straight.
The thing I'm excited about though is that he's from Brazil.
Yeah.
And it's huge for the scene there, probably.
Yeah. You Sepultura fan?
Decent amount. I like the early stuff.
Yes, I am. I don't know. After Roots, Bloody Roots is like one of my favorite albums of all time. After that, I'm like,
I don't acknowledge the existence of that stuff.
Yeah, right. It's just like after Max left, you're like, no. Like really, man. They come out. They put an album out. They play in Brazil, representing Brazil, and they take a guy from Cleveland to be their new singer.
It's so not right.
It's so not right. Cavalera, man, Cavalera. All right. Another question for you. I had it. I got a question for you. Promise you. I had these written down, and of course I didn't bring my notebook.
One job.
I know I have one job.
The whole team down.
Job. Oh yeah, here we go. So I noticed in your songs, like they're very, heavy and very straightforward and really riffy, but too, you got a lot of harmonies in there and you got a lot of melody. So for you, breakdown or sing along?
I think I've written one breakdown ever, and that hasn't even been heard by anyone. So,
well, there you have it.
Actually, no, 3. One's in a song, one's in the vault, and then one I tried to put in that the cover of Adele we're doing.
Yeah.
That wasn't good.
Not exactly. For those of you that don't know, Ryan and I are in April Uprising, Lehigh University's greatest metal band, by default. Very proud to bring the heavy music here to campus. We have some great talent here, but as far as heavy stuff, we're really it. So if you like it brutal and you're looking for something to go to, check out any of our shows. We're going to be playing this Friday night at the Electric Butt. Down at the Montclair Manor. It's going to be a grand old time. Come check us out about 6:30 p.m. Going to be great, man. Going to be some burgers. It's time to chill. Some free music. Going to be a great time. So actually, another question. How did you come up with the name April Uprising? Let's hear that story.
Oh man.
Because that is your new band. Like what? Okay. The new Ryan Loftus project.
So a year and a half ago, I was on ultimateguitar.com, one of my favorite websites, on the forum, and I see something about a guy and his technique on a song. It's John Butler Trio, Ocean. And that blew me away. The first album I got into was April Uprising by that band. So we're going through trying to name the band, and I decided that would be a good one. And I knew the context, because it was named after the Bulgarian April Uprising against the Ottoman Empire. And I just really like the idea behind that.
Alright, cool, man. Yes, that is how we got. I'm like, cool, but like, I was part of it, so yeah. But again, this show is about you. The show is not about us. I'm just here interviewing you, man. We're just chilling with microphones, yeah? So, going pretty well right now. We're about halfway through the show. It's almost 1 a.m. right now. Hope you're having a good morning out there, folks. If you're driving home right now, so to keep it safe, it's click it or ticket, folks. Let's just keep it safe out there. Let's not get hit by a car. And if you are in a car and you are in a crash and you don't click it, man, you're going out the windshield. So please, think about yourself. Be selfish. Wear your seatbelt. Wear your seatbelt. Do you wear a seatbelt? Yeah, he wears a seatbelt. Seatbelts are metal.
They are made of metal.
They are made of metal. You heard it here, folks. Seatbelts are made out of metal. They're that metal. All right, so we're going to keep the tracks moving right along. Up next, we have another track from Ryan's album, Reclaiming Humanity. Up next for you, please enjoy To the Souls. And this one's a 7-string track, right?
Yeah, the softest song in the whole album is a 7-string track.
That's pretty prog, man. That's
actually,
pretty
the
prog.
ending's a little melodic death metal, but we'll get to that later.
Oh, I like that. All right. So up next for you is To the Souls. This is the Moshpit mix with my guest tonight, Ryan Loftus. This is his album, Reclaiming Humanity. He's going to be here all night. I'll be interviewing him this evening. It's been a great show so far, and we got plenty more great stuff for you. You're listening to 91.3 WLVR. You're listening to 91.3 WLVR Bethlehem. Sorry about that.
Sneak peek.
Little sneak peek. It's coming. It's coming. It's 91.3 WLVR. This is the Moshpit mix.
A song you don't know that you want to hear.
That's right. You don't know you didn't know you wanted to hear any of this, but you want to hear this. You totally want to hear this. Everyone wants to hear this. No one's hearing this, man. It's 1 a.m. It's 1 a.m. It's the heavy show. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm dating this new girl. She's not even listening. She doesn't care. Our friends are out right now. Oh man, there's no way. This is for you and me, basically.
I'm enjoying it.
I'm enjoying it too, and it's nice having you here. If you are listening, thank you. If anyone is not listening, it's okay. that is. I mean, if that wasn't the greatest sales pitch ever, I mean, so that last track there was To the Souls. Awesome 7-string track there, man. So what were you thinking about with that? I mean, that has some very interesting lyrical content, especially like the line, we're all part of this race of humanity. I think that is awesome, and I think that is just a great line. Where were you getting these ideas from?
Okay, so last winter I had this really long, super prog song. And it was the clean parts of that song, plus some pieces of this new song that I have not ready to release, but it's coming soon. And at this point I was basically addicted to watching 24. And spoilers, during the death of my favorite character Edgar, I was just devastated. And I went down and at that moment I decided to just created that song and separated the clean parts. So if you listen to the first movement, it's basically about Jack Bauer and Edgar, and it's sacrificing for the well-being of others.
All right, Jack Bauer. Cool, man.
And the ending,
yeah.
I don't know what happened. I like to change the meaning of the song halfway through.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
And it just turned into this whole about the future of the human race, and I don't know what happened there.
All right. Just a little disclaimer. To our friends listening, you know who you are. I'm sorry. Thank you for listening. Thank you. Okay? Thanks. You good people. Sarcasm is a thing, and your listening is a huge support. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you for supporting me and Ryan. Thank you especially for supporting Ryan. This is Ryan. This show's about Ryan. Say hi to everyone, Ryan.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Okay, so another question for you, man. So tell me, I noticed on that last track, it started off, I was thinking 80s ballad, and then it gets heavy, then I'm like, yo, this is really cool, but it still had a very interesting texture to it, very interesting feel to it. What do you listen to besides metal? Because I know you're into a lot of different stuff, right?
I was raised in kind of alternative rock, U2. Guns N' Roses, Smashing Pumpkins, big early influences. John Butler, flamenco. And I'm really into Arabic and Asian music. That's one of my big influences.
And you like Asian metal too, right?
Dude, that's totally gonna be a big thing. That's this decade it's gonna be coming up. I hope.
So China's going to take over more than one. China, a couple of Chinese bands, but I don't know about you, but largely those East Asian and Japanese bands.
Yeah, I'm in Exotic right now.
Yeah, you're talking
Melodic Asian black metal.
Yeah, man.
That's where it's at.
You had a dream about them, right?
Oh man, we can't even get into that. Too weird. Just imagine karate, Asian black metal, and The Walking Dead. I'll leave you with that one.
That's a trip. That sounds like a trip. All right. So tell me, again, you're into a lot of music. Do you have any guilty pleasures in music? I remember reading an interview with Will Adler back a couple of years ago, and he was like, they asked him, can you have any guilty pleasures? He's like, yeah, really like Britney Spears. What of it? Do you have any, what's your guilty pleasure? What are you ashamed of that's on your iPod, on your Spotify, on whatever medium you listen to music on?
I don't know if I'd use the word ashamed, but over spring break, I got my wisdom teeth out.
Yeah.
And so I was on drugs just the entire week. And all I did was play Xbox Far Cry 3, and I guess my guilty pleasure, listening to J-pop.
Listening to J-pop. Makes some brutal music and listens to J-pop. That's pretty heavy, man.
I'm telling you, Dream is, they're good.
All right, man. So, I mean, speaking of the whole thing, how do you feel about baby metal? Because they're taking off, like, selling out Madison Square Garden. I played one of their tracks a couple weeks back, you know. Actually, it's now a while back, but, like, how do you feel about them? Because people are really digging them, and I just love talking to people about it, because people are like, dude, these guys are so different, they're so out there. They're these, you know, like, they're these Asian chicks in school uniforms doing metal. Like, how do you feel about these guys?
At first, I didn't like it, and then I got into J-pop, and I was like, oh, yeah. This is it.
All right, man. Yeah, if you have not heard baby metal and you want to get blown away by something that you will not experience anywhere else, J-pop and metal mixed together, it's an experience. It's an experience. Definitely check them out, baby metal. All right, Ryan. So thank you for that, man. We're gonna keep moving the show right along, and up next, got another track for you off of Ryan's album Reclaiming Humanity. This next track for you is Of No Grace. Enjoy. You're listening to 91.3 WLVR Bethlehem. This is the Moshpit mix, your best mix of hard rock, hardcore, and heavy metal. My name is Chris Dallao. I'm your host this evening, and with me this evening is Mr. Ryan Loftus.
How we doing?
Welcome back. Welcome back. So with that last track there, we had another track off of Ryan's new album. Well, it's not that new, but Ryan's album Reclaiming Humanity. That was Of No Grace. So tell me, Ryan, when I hear Grace, I think of Lamb of God. You're a big fan of them, right?
That song is amazing.
That song is amazing, right? Yeah, man. I know you're a big Lamb fan. So, like, what was the vibe on that song? Because, I mean, that had some really cool feels to it, man. I really dug the acoustic parts on it. What were you thinking with that?
That's a tale of unrequited love.
Oh, my.
And,
what's your name?
It can't be said.
Can't be said, huh?
Yeah. It's not good.
Yeah. Her.
Very. It can be very dark, and there's dark points in that song. Very dark. And I was telling you before that middle acoustics, the whole length acoustic, the middle section was originally like an Opeth type vibe, and I was stuck with it. And then I went to this show. It was a Battle of Bands, and this band, it's a terrible band, horrible. But they played this song, and it was like an acoustic-driven song with that type of energy, and it just clicked right there, and the whole song was.
Awful band, but great song.
I don't think it was their song, so I don't have credit. But I appreciate the helping hand.
Well, never mind that band. Yeah, dude, can't mention the girl, can't mention the... Oh, I'm messing up. All right. So, that last track there was Of No Grace. Got some more tracks coming for you, but in the meantime, we got some questions for Ryan. So tell me, man, if you could have the ultimate supergroup of people, dead or alive, hell Chuck, who would you put in it?
Wait, am I in it?
I mean, that's a little egotistical, but if you want to be in your ultimate supergroup of all time.
Normally it's like, this question is either phrased, favorite supergroup to like listen to, or like, if you could have a band.
If you could have a band of any musicians.
Okay, I'm not in it. Yeah.
So you're not in it.
No.
He's not the great. He admits, very humble man, saying he's not the greatest.
Gotta go Chuck and Matt Heafy.
Ooh, that'd be a cool combination.
Dangerous.
Right. Yeah.
Or what be even more crazy is Marty Friedman leads over Chuck. That'd be terrifying.
That would be wow.
But I'll go Matt Heafy, Chuck. Bass. I guess Rex Brown.
Put in Rex Brown. All right.
Rex Brown. Drums.
No Pantera. All right.
I don't know if I have a favorite drummer. I guess I'll go Chris Adler. So I'm drawing a blank.
Chris Adler's always a solid choice. Chris Adler is never not a solid choice. I mean, if he's good enough for Dave Mustaine,
It's my final
Dave
answer.
Mustaine can get anybody. All right, man. So that's your final answer. So you'd have Matt Heafy and Chuck, for those who don't know, for those of you that are not fans of death and do not hail Chuck,
Fix that.
Fix that. That's Chuck Schuldiner. Chuck, Rex Brown for Pantera on bass, and Chris Adler. Now here's the thing, and Chris Adler on drums from Lamb of God. So here's my question though: would you have Chuck do vocals? Would you have Matt do vocals? Would you have them both do vocals?
You gotta have both.
You gotta have both. All right.
Although I feel like they wouldn't work well together, but that's a...
I don't feel like, dude. I look at both of them. I'm like, I feel like the two of them would just get in a solo battle
They're
and
very
just be
dominating people.
Yes, I feel like
go
they would.
well.
I mean, especially too, man. Chuck just like kicking people in and out constantly. Every single lineup, just like no one was ever good enough.
That wouldn't be a super group to last.
That would not be a super group to last. All right. I know. Who do you think is like the big super group right now? Like, who are you a big fan of in terms of like, you know, there's been
super group?
Yeah, there's been. I mean, there's been a lot of them. You know, like Killer Be Killed.
I'm really loving Killer Be Killed.
Okay, well, there we have the answer.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite albums of the year, 2014. Let's go with that one.
Yeah, if you haven't heard Killer Be Killed, that's Troy Sanders from Mastodon, Max Cavalera from Soulfly, and of course of Sepultura and Cavalera Conspiracy. And dude, Max is in so many projects. You know what else do we have in that lineup too?
You say Troy Sanders?
Yes, it's Troy.
Mars Volta guy on drums. I don't know.
Mars Volta. Dude, there have been so many drummers in Mars Volta. It's one of the Mars Volta guys.
That's all I know.
No offense, Mars Volta. I'm a big fan.
He's the only one who doesn't do vocals. It's hard to remember his name.
Yeah, that's true. Dude, and their lineup is gigantic. Mars Volta, and it's just changing again and again and again and again and again. Omar, dude, just settle. Just settle. Don't be. He's the Chuck of prog. He's the Chuck of prog. Yeah, he's the Chuck of prog rock. Of, you know, Latin influence Latin influence prog rock. I'm a little tired. All right. So another question for you. There have been so many great guitar players that you and I have talked about. Who do you think has the best tone out there?
Oh no.
And it could be of all time.
Lead or rhythm?
I mean, this is a metal show. It's all about that tight rhythm sound, man. Who do you think has the best rhythm sound out there?
I'm gonna give you both anyway.
All right, yeah, go for it.
Chris Poland on Peace Sells, I think, is the best solo tone. Or Andy LaRocque.
Okay.
I feel like I'm surprising with these.
A little bit, yeah.
Andy
Just 'cause you
LaRocque
never talk
on Individual Thought Patterns is a good sound. Rhythm-wise, yeah, I gotta go Lamb of God. That's because they just get it.
So
Everyone
killer.
forgets about the mids,
Yeah.
and that's what I like. That.
Yeah.
That's a tone I go for.
All right, man. So you heard it here. Best guitar tone. All about that Lamb of God tone. All right, man. So just another question too. You know, you've got a lot of different vocal styles in here. Everything from, you know, screaming to vocal frying to clean singing and falsetto. You know, who are your influences vocally? Like, who do you think are like the best out there? I mean, to clean singing and screaming, anything.
So basically, the vocal fry, I always kind of knew how to do that, and whenever I couldn't think of a melody and I couldn't scream it, I just do like the Randy Bly like talk vocal fry. I'm like, I'll just put that in there. Screaming wise, I mean Chuck and Matt Heafy are my favorites, and I really like Joe Duplantier from Gojira and Rob Flynn from Machine Head. They're melodic screaming, very cool. And then singing wise, it's Matt Heafy's number one.
All right, man. Yeah, I mean, especially from him, and such great clean vocals, such fantastic screams. Guy is great, all over the register, and a fantastic guitar player, man. Such great vocals, such great shredding. The guy is just the total package.
Talking about me.
In your dreams, buddy.
I think so.
Yeah, how would you compare yourself to Matt Heafy?
Oh no.
Oh no,
You
to
played
Matt
with one,
Kitschy.
didn't you?
To Matt Kitschy Heafy.
Can't compare him myself to him now, you gotta look at his early 17-year-old self.
His 17-year-old self. All right. Yeah, dude, that hair though.
Yeah. Vocals are not there. In my department.
All right. All right, man. He's not Matt Heafy now, but someday.
This isn't even my final form.
This isn't even my final form. Yes, for those of you that don't know, we're both pretty nerdy about Dragon Ball Z, and it's a running joke in the band. So if you haven't watched Dragon Ball Z, watch it. This isn't even my final form. My power level is over 9,000. You have no idea. Actually, you just got that book, right?
Maybe.
Yeah. He has a habit of just buying books compulsively on Amazon. It's his strange addiction.
It's a good addiction.
It's a good addiction. He's addicted to knowledge. He's addicted to knowledge. All about that knowledge. All right, folks. So it's about 1:30 a.m. here. Hope you're having a good morning. Just want to say, remember, folks out there, please practice safe sex. Use a condom. That's all I got to say about that. Moving on, a little PSA for you. So, moving on, got another track for you off of Ryan's fantastic album, Reclaiming Humanity. This next track is a very heavy one.
Oh, this one.
Oh, this one. That is right. This next track is Hearts of Steel. You're listening to 91.3 WLVR. You're listening to 91.3 WLVR Bethlehem. This is the Moshpit mix, your best mix of hard rock, hardcore, and heavy metal, and I'm your host, Chris Dallao. With me here this evening is Mr. Ryan Loftus.
How's it going?
Hey, man. And tonight we are going through Ryan's album, and I have the pleasure of interviewing Mr. Loftus about this fine work of musical genius.
I appreciate that.
Oh, well, thank you. Why am I thanking you? Hi, it's 1:30 a.m. I've had a long day, folks. All right, so that last track there was Hearts of Steel. That song has a pretty cool concept to it, right?
Yeah, I did a thing where I changed the meaning through the song again. The beginning is... I remember learning about this thing in bioethics class where people would have themselves cloned and then send their clones to an island. And then when they needed the body parts, they would take the person and like cut them apart for their organs. And the song is written from the perspective of that clone. And the ending just completely changes topic and starts talking about the future of human genetics.
All right. Yeah, man. So you're pretty big into all that stuff. So yeah, I mean, a lot of people think like, with that you're here for the science. You're going to Lehigh for the sciences. But where are you here for exactly?
Now it's business.
Now it's business.
Now it's business.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
All right. And what's it going to be next week?
Who knows?
All right. Yeah, so he's here for business, folks. And he means business with this album. That is right. All right. So that last track there was Hearts of Steel. We're getting pretty far through the album. We have one more song for the album. But in the meantime, because we do have some time to fill here, and it'd be nice to play more than one artist on the show, because I always try to get a huge variety here. Not that your stuff isn't fantastic. You're special. You're so special. Never let anyone tell you different. So up next for you, as far as kind of the bands that were influencing the albums, we were talking about that, and that's the next couple tracks we're going to play. So, like, who are your big influences on this album? Where were you pulling inspiration from?
So you mean the album itself, not my playing and stuff?
Yeah, the album itself.
So the biggest revelation for me in like music, I guess, was listening to Machine Head's The Blackening. And I was like, you can write a 10-minute thrash song. And it's kind of obvious if you look at the track lengths that I did that. And so that's on there. And I just wanted to capture that kind of vibe and energy of an epic album. Whether I succeeded or not, I don't know. And the same thing I sought to do with Crack the Sky with Mastodon.
My favorite album of all time.
That album's amazing. Because, I mean, if you look at the structure of the album, my album and their album they're both 7 songs.
Mm-hmm.
Some short ones, some long ones.
Yeah.
And if you look very closely into your souls, there's a shout out in there, hidden in this secret message.
Really? I didn't catch that. Where is that?
Well, I have hidden messages in some of my songs.
Oh my. Yeah. Do you work with the Illuminati?
Illuminati confirmed. No. And that, with the sky part, there's a line that give yourself up to the sky. The sky is spelled with the E.
There you go.
There are some hidden messages in there, but
Alright, cool,
I
man.
won't tell you about this.
Oh, so I gotta figure out this out. Yeah, you hear that, folks? If you want to hear the hidden messages, if you want to know the mystery, go out, buy it. Listen to it on Spotify, and especially go out and buy it. You can get it online.
iTunes.
iTunes. You have it on iTunes?
Dude, it's on iTunes.
Dude, you're so legit.
iTunes, Amazon. Don't buy it on Amazon because they cut some 10 minutes off of the song.
Right.
CD Baby. I would appreciate it if you bought it there.
Yeah, baby.
Google Play maybe? I don't know.
You are extreme. Like, I consider you one of my best friends, and I didn't even know you were on iTunes. You are, wow. High five, man. High five. We can't reach because we break the mics, but high five.
Bro 5.
Bro 5. Hey, man.
Want to build some muscle?
Want to build some muscle? Yeah, so I got my goldfish the other day, and I accidentally poured my protein powder into his bowl, and now my fish won't stop calling me bro and flexing his fins. Yeah. If anyone is in Soch 1, you probably don't remember that group, but they were really funny. No one from Soch is listening. So, Laura, hi. You remember. Oh, wait, you didn't come to class. I don't know if you came to class that day. You haven't been to class today. Go to sleep. If Laura Reed, if you're listening, please go to bed. All right, so we're going to keep the show moving. So we were talking about the vibe. They were talking about Machine Head's The Blackening. You're talking about Crack the Sky from Macedon. So right now we got some tracks bringing that were also a big part of inspiration, a big part of your influence on this album, the vibe on this album. So up next for you, this track is Wake, The Night Is Not. The end is nigh. The end is nigh, Chris. The end is nigh. The end is nigh by Trivium off of there, and this is the new album, right? Vengeance Falls, right?
Newest.
Newest, yeah.
It's not that new. They're coming out with new ones.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so the new album from Trivium. So here we go, folks. Enjoy. You are listening to 91.3 WLVR Bethlehem. This is yours, Chris Dallao, proudly bringing you the Moshpit mix, your best mix of hard rock, hardcore, and heavy metal. And here with me in the studio this evening has been Mr. Ryan Loftus.
What up, what up?
What up, what up? All right, before we get to anything else, I'd just like to say huge shout out to a good friend of mine whose nickname I cannot say on the radio.
Hi, Christian.
Hi, Christian! Dude, thank you for listening. Christian Hilligus, a.k.a. Chilligus, a.k.a. Frat Boy Slim, a.k.a. Tyrannosaurus Flex, a.k.a.
Can't say it on the radio.
A.k.a. he who cannot be named. Christian, we love you, man. I apologize for not giving you a shout out because I needed to give you a full minute of just Christian Hilligus. Christian Hilligus, everybody, clap it up.
All right. Golf clap.
Golf clap.
Also, quick shout out to my boys in Minor Setbacks, Philly Indie Rock Band. EP coming out tomorrow. Check it out. Post on my wall, Ryan Loftus Music, Facebook wall.
That is right. And again, you can check us out here, WLVR, the Moshpit mix on WLVR. Check us out on Facebook. How's the video looking?
What video?
The video.
Oh, first 40 minutes are solid.
All right, so we're gonna have some video of what's going on tonight. Yes, Sarah, you too. You got a shout out. Sarah, Angelica, Laura, you guys, awesome. Madison, Hannah, everybody who's listening. Jesse, I know you're not listening, but Jesse, friends, foes. Yeah, you know, to all of our friends that we know aren't listening. The who?
Never mind.
The Jon
Snows.
The Jon Snow. You know nothing, Jon Snow. The Jon Snows, the bros.
All right, Chris.
All right. So, just thank you to everyone listening out there, man. And if you're not one of those like 10 people who list off and you're just listening and tuning in, thank you. Hope you're having a good night out there. All right. So, those last two tracks for you were "Born in Winter" from Gojira and "Wake" by Wake. The End Is Nigh by Trivium. I had never heard that track before, man. I really dug that. Thank you.
I'm telling you, man, that new album's so good.
Good. So good. Yeah, no, I really, really dug that, man. You know, and I definitely see where you're coming from. I mean, I knew where you're coming from before, but like, I seriously dig it, man. That was solid. It's good stuff. Good inspiration. I'm inspired. Cool. All right, folks. So we're gonna keep the show moving along. We have one more song for you. This is the last track off of Ryan's album, Reclaiming Humanity. Before we get into that, Ryan, so give us a little segue into it. Tell us, where you're coming from, the writing process for this song. Just a little overview of Divinity here.
Oh man, this song is okay. You can't explain Divinity without talking about mortality. The two are linked. I imagine a situation where a guy's crossing the street.
Okay.
And he's about to get hit by a bus.
Oh, all right.
Another man saves him, but in the process sacrifices his own life. So mortality is written from the perspective of the guy who stayed alive. Divinity is from the guy who died. And it looks at whether sacrifice is selfish or selfless.
This is deep. This is seriously deep. All right, folks, you heard it here. Ryan Loftus, extremely deep. You hear that, ladies? Ryan Loftus, deep. Bro fist. Pound it. All right. So this is the final track on Ryan's album, Reclaiming Humanity. Again, you can find it on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, CD Baby, preferably CD Baby. Check it out through all these different media. He is super legit. Again, he recorded everything on this album. It is all him. This is a one-man show, and for a one-man show for an 18-year-old kid, not that much. I'm only 19, and I play in a band with him, so not saying anything that.
What band, Chris?
What band, Chris? April Uprising, of course. And by the way, this is April, and April Uprising is uprising in April. We are playing shows all over the place. If you're on Lehigh's campus, you will undoubtedly see us, especially because we're playing right on the front lawn 2 days in a row next week. So check it out. People who don't even want to see us or hear us are going to see us and hear us and hopefully get into it. But most likely when they hear us start screaming, be like, eh.
I like Adele. Oh, it's supposed to be a secret.
It's not a secret anymore.
Nick, we're doing that one? I better learn that.
Bear Lords, if you're listening, and I know you're probably not.
Oh, I thought we were talking about a song we were... Okay.
Oh, no, man. No, dude, Bear Lords, just the joke. It just never ends.
It's still going.
It's the joke that just keeps on giving. And we keep...
And it gives you nothing.
Nick, Eric, you're awesome dudes. I would love to see you switch up your set, and I would love to stop playing bass for you. Even though I love playing bass for you. When you drop your bass. Drop the bass. Okay? It's 2 a.m. Hope you're having a good morning. It's going to be a good day. I gotta wake up in 4 hours? Yeah, 4 hours. I'm gonna get a nice nap in. It'll be a good day. Alright, folks. So we got the last track here off of Ryan's album, Reclaiming Humanity. This is the final track. This is Divinity. Enjoy. You're about to go.
Stay on the rise.
What?
Stay on the rise.
Stay on the rise. Here we go. Divinity. Ryan Loftus. Reclaiming Humanity. You're listening to 91.3 WLVR. You're listening to 91.3 WLVR Bethlehem. This has been the Moshpit Mix. I have been your host, Chris Dallao, and a huge thanks this evening to Mr. Ryan Loftus.
Thank you.
Dude, it's been a pleasure having the show, man. It's been great having some conversation about some music with you. It's been really, really cool to just hear about how you put this whole album together. Tell the people about your album, where they can find it, where they can find you. Well, a little about yourself.
So, check out Ryan Loftus Reclaim Humanity on CD Baby, Amazon, iTunes, YouTube, Spotify, and I have channels on WordPress, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, and I write for your ultimateguitar.com.
That's right, guys. So he is everywhere. There is no excuse because this is super convenient for anyone to check out. Again, the album is called Reclaiming Humanity. The artist is Ryan Loftus. He played everything on this album, did some incredible work. Check out his band too, April Uprising, Lehigh University's greatest resident metal band. You can check them out on the front lawn 2 days, not just one, but 2 days next week. That's right, folks. 2 nights in a row, next Thursday and next Friday in the evening on the front lawn here at Lehigh University. Check them out at the Electric Butt this Friday at 468 Montclair. Starting at 6:30. There's going to be some burgers. Going to be some great music going on from some super talented musicians from Lehigh. Again, you're gonna have the metal. You're gonna have April Uprising, the metal band. You're gonna have a bunch of soft acts. You got some indie acts, some acoustic acts, some great stuff for you guys to check out. Again, April Uprising. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us. Actually, we have a Twitter. Not that we've been using it, but we're trying to get some stuff out there. We do have a Twitter. You can check us out. Again, this has been Ryan Loftus. Ryan, thank you so much for being on the show, man.
Thank you.
It's been fantastic. It's been great having a hang here with some mics. It's been awesome, man. And it's a great conversation about metal. Stay metal out there. Praise Chuck.
Stay on the rise.
Stay on the rise. All right, folks. This has been the Moshpit Mix. It has been my pleasure. I'll be back here again next week at midnight till 2 a.m. doing the late night shift, bringing you the best in hard rock, hardcore, and heavy metal here in the Moshpit Mix. We'd like to leave you, as always, with a nice soft track to ease you into the day. Again, a huge thanks to Ryan. Check out Reclaiming Humanity. Find it everywhere. My name's been Chris Dallao. This has been the Moshpit Mix. I'm going to leave you with a nice, easy track. Please enjoy. Nice, easy way to ease into your day. This next track and this last track is from a band called This Will Destroy You. An awesome post-rock group, man. It's so mellow. This song just makes me happy. I hope it does the same for you. This song is There Are Some Remedies Worse Than Sickness. Please enjoy. Hope you've enjoyed the show. I'll be back here next week at midnight. This has been the Moshpit Mix. Thank you, folks. God bless. Good night.